Alt Funds Global presents Asset-Based Lending. What is it and how to leverage it for funding your business?
Asset-based lending, you're short in cash or accounts receivable, but you've got lots of assets and you need capital to grow your business and to survive. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what is asset-based lending, how and when to leverage it. You've got to watch this video.
All of the information presented is for entertainment and information purposes only. Nothing discussed constitutes legal or accounting advice, an offer or solicitation of financial services, or financial advice of any kind. Our goal is to showcase alternative vehicles to raise capital. At no point will we be soliciting any investment programs.
Hey, Simmer Salmon from Alt Funds Global. My organization helps accredited investors leverage their assets, their cash, Sammer's credit, and so on to access capital that the banks are primarily offering their VIP clients. One of the questions I get is, why is there a growth in asset-based lending? What is it? How can I leverage it? And so on. So my father, when he was a banker, at the beginning of his career, he was in the underwriting team. He would help give loans and so on to clients. As a bank, whether it's 50, 60 years ago, or even today, banks love cash, 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 accounts receivable, accounts receivable, accounts receivable. Why? Because that's security for the loan that they're about to give. Think about it from a banker's perspective. I'm inviting you to think about it as if you are a banker. You've got 50 different businesses coming to you for loans. You certainly don't want to give away bad loans, do you? So what you want to look at is what's the security that business has for you to give loans against. A lot of businesses have something called accounts receivable. Imagine you have a client that's the government of Texas. Well, the government of Texas happens to be the fourth largest economy in the world. If you have the government of Texas and an accounts receivable in your company, that's value. Banks will loan money to you against that. As a banker, as an underwriter, my father would tell me, you love cash. The truth is that has not changed in 2025, where banks still love accounts receivable and still love cash. But if you're a business that you've been impacted by tariffs, you've been impacted by whatever you've been impacted by, and now you don't have that cash, you don't have a lot of accounts receivable, but you have assets. Well, how can you go and leverage your assets to go get a loan? That's what it is. That's why there's a massive growth in today's economy, where clients are looking for asset-based lending and not something that's against their equity of their business, their cash, accounts receivable, and so on. In asset-based lending, what you might find surprising, just delightfully be surprised, is that a lot of financial institutions may have a lending team, but they also have an asset management team. And when the lending team is short in cash and they don't have the money to give you, oftentimes you might be surprised when you go to the asset management division of that bank. Guess what? They have cash and they would love to loan money against that cash for you. I would love to give you case studies. Given we're a global company, what applies for in Netherlands with ING Bank as example would not apply for in Panama with a Panamanian bank. So in terms of giving you examples and cases, I'd love to. I'd rather just give you a format template for you to follow instead. So you need capital. You need a capital for the growth or survival of your business. You've got a lot of assets and you need to get a loan against that asset so that you get the capital you're looking for. When you want to think about asset-based lending, you want to figure out what's the true value of that asset. And let me tell you something about me. I have a daughter and I have a son. If you tell me my son, what's his worth, I would tell you my son is priceless. I would tell you my son is priceless. Same thing when it comes to entrepreneurs and business owners. If you tell them what are the assets they have, they'll tell you they have IP, they have inventory, they have whatever they have. What's the asset? Typically, you get a biased answer on, well, it's priceless. So my invitation for you is that if you have assets, to get third-party reputable organization that can do an evaluation of your assets. and can give you a current value for that asset. So that's one version of how to figure out what the value of your assets are. The second way to go around that is to go get an insurance wrap for the asset you want to get. So let's say I have some kind of an asset that's worth $100 million. Insurance may not go to insure for $100 million, but they may go to insure for $70 million. Now that $70 million that's backed by insurance, backed by cash, there's some kind of value I can demonstrate to a bank. So once you've got third-party insurance or a third-party appraisal for that asset, you can now go to financial institutions. You can go to asset management firms. There's a lot of asset management firms next to private equity firms that will loan money against an asset. So what I would do if I were you, I would say, here's my KYC, here's my CSF. My name is Timur Zaman, as an example. Would have to have evidence. My name is Timur Zaman. Here's a copy of my passport. Here's my KYC. Here's my company's credit rating, not personal rating, but company's credit rating. Here's how many years I've been in business. Here's my business plan. Here's why I need the use of funds. Here's where the use of funds will go to. The collateral I'm providing is my asset. Here's the third-party appraisal of that. I'm happy to have my attorney. I'm happy to have my CFO on a call with you to evaluate my asset for that. And that would be the approach that I would take in going to asset management firms or banks that have an asset management division to say, here's the asset I have, and I'm looking for a loan against that asset. From an underwriter perspective, they want to, ask you 5 million questions, not 4,000 questions, but really 5 million questions. What this is, show me the value, show me where it's located, like 5 million questions. Once you've answered that, you should be able to get a term sheet. With an asset management firm, typically they give you a non-binding term sheet just to keep your interest there until everything's on the T's and C's are done, and off you go. One recommendation I do have, if you don't want to go to legitimate financial institutions, maybe you are in Colombia as an example, and you don't have access to HSBC in Colombia as an example. I'm just giving that only as an example. And you're going to go through third-party asset management firms. Oftentimes, these people want to audit the asset to verify the asset is real, and they want to use their own auditors. That's fair. And who has to pay the upfront fee is you. Who has to pay for the upfront fee is you. So be prepared to have some amount of cash available, not to pay me or not to pay some joker broker, but rather you're paying this to a financial institution, asset management firm, for the audit that they're about to do. Some questions you want to ask, some due diligence questions I would recommend you to ask. Ask for references, referrals. Have you done this before? Show me that. I will talk to some of your customers. If you're talking to joker brokers, they probably don't have references to give you, but I know if somebody reaches out to me on the internet and asks me for a reference, I'll politely tell them, I don't know you. Why would I give you my reference? So you have to show your cards first. You have to show your cards first. I also recommend to work with a trusted financial, like a structured financing organization like ours. I authored a book called Structured Finance Demystified. It doesn't mean anything, but you want to work with people that you trust, to hold your hands, show you the ropes and how that works. That'd be my recommendation on if you want to go down the route of asset-based lending and leveraging that to get capital for your business. I hope you find this helpful. If you did, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we look forward to the opportunity of meeting at one of our webinars, events, or perhaps in a consultation. Thank you.
Been in finance for quite some time, and that time is about 12 years. And what I do comes with a lot of skepticism. And of course, I started by watching your videos and also interacting with you from a point of skepticism. And all along, I was looking for the indicators that you are a fraud. And after 4 long years, I've been able to see that I think this guy is the real deal. So I came along with my my colleague, who's also a project manager and also adequately trained in finance, to come along, and we just try and push our first deal through our Transglobal.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for addressing us. So are we still a fraud now that you're a client?
Come up again?
Are we still a fraud now that we're a client? Now that you're a client?
You're no longer on the red. There has been you've been quite open with regard to your approaches and open to scrutiny, and also just the way you conduct your business generally. There's a lot of openness and honesty.
Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Timur, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. But if you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of Allfunds Global. You simply go to our website, allfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing, Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Timo, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within Allfunds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with the central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. That means, repeat this again, you are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now, it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and you know in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever your bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now, it's not free money. It's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within Allfunds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Timur, you charge a consultation fee. Allfunds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content completely for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the target. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Tamar, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. You know, we never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate, they're hardworking people. I know them, they deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within Alphonse Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Tamer Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Tylenol, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them as just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow, we have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you it's the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is an industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is an industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world. And I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimur, we love all the services of Funds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out it. We don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in to that, you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is, if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimur. I'm from Funds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.